What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I can't tell you, even though this will likely directly impact my earnings on this platform, I can't tell you how happy I am, how happy it makes me to report that it's happening. That's right. The U.S. Justice Department and 11 states file antitrust lawsuits against Google. Smash like if you are pumped to hear that. Hey, while you're smashing like, I'm pushing hard to reach 1 million subscribers. There's a red subscribe button right down below this video. 5 to 6 days a week, I'm here delivering 5 or more videos for you. I only hope that today will be the day I earn your subscription. We'll do something real special if we hit 1 million by Christmas. We're falling a little behind, but we can catch up with a strong surge today. Now, news just broke that the U.S. Department of Justice and 11 states have filed antitrust lawsuit against Google. It alleges that Google has been using dominance in online search to stifle competition and harm consumers. Duh. The lawsuit marks the government's most significant legal challenge to the tech company's market power in a generation, the New York Times reports. Now, unfortunately, they should have done this back in 2016 when we saw obvious examples where if you typed in Hillary Clinton in the auto suggestion, it was all good stuff. Donald Trump, all bad stuff. Whatever recent scandal was going on with the Clinton was always like cleared out. I mean, it was obvious. This is why alternatives like DuckDuckGo exist and should be considered major players for people that want clean search results. Now, what exactly is going on with this? Well, we could see this today. Millions of Americans rely, this is from the Justice Department. Today, millions of Americans rely on internet and online platforms. Competition in this industry is vitally important, which is why today's challenge against Google for violating antitrust laws is a monumental case for both the Department of Justice and for the American people. That's from AG Barr. Now, the problem, or what I'm very concerned about, is what I don't want. What I don't want is the government to just fine Google another $1 billion, and then that money gets disappeared into the ether of the government, and everyone gets a big bonus check. I don't know where the money that like the FTC takes from Google goes, but Google doesn't care if you take their money. They literally print their own. So what they need is actual change. You can look at this quote here. Quote, "Since my confirmation, I have prioritized the department's review of online market leading platforms to ensure that our technology industries remain competitive. This lawsuit strikes at the heart of Google's grip over the internet for millions of American consumers, advertisers, small businesses, and entrepreneurs beholden to an unlawful monopolist." I mean, why is this an important issue? Well, I could talk for hours on that. I know you don't want to hear that. Maybe on a live stream I could. This is one of my most deeply, closely held, passionate positions that I have, is that the internet is the new public square. And that I believe at some variation of First Amendment rights should be applied online when you are also protected by the government's Section 230 laws. So let me use a perfect example. Banning wrong thinkers from Twitter, for example. This is something that I don't think should be possible as long as a company like Twitter gets government protections. If they want to forego those protections and allow freedom of speech as long as it doesn't break terms of service, then this is a fine medium to me. You know, if Twitter says, "Hey, look, we don't want Section 230 protection, so we're gonna ban all the right-wing people for spurious reasons and give them no recourse," well, that's their choice. But as long as they are continuing to be protected by our government, then they should, in my opinion, be respectful of the First Amendment. Now, U.S. Justice Department hits Google with the biggest antitrust lawsuit in 2 decades. The U.S. Justice Department and 11 states filed an antitrust lawsuit against Alphabet Inc.'s Google on Tuesday. And by the way, by a larger extension. YouTube, breaking the law and using its market power to fend off rivals. Well, also, to sway the political, like the election. But that's either here or there. Google's search engine is so ubiquitous that its name has become a verb, had a revenue of $162 billion in 2019, more than the nation of Hungary. Republican Senator Josh Hawley, a vociferous Google critic, accused the company of keeping power through illegal means and called the lawsuit the most important antitrust case in a generation. The lawsuit promises to be the biggest antitrust case in a generation, comparable with the suit against the Microsoft Corp filed in 1998 and the 1974 case against AT&T, which led to the breakup of the Bell. Now, for some of you, you will remember all the Pacific Bell and all the Bell companies that got broken up by the government, and I think Google needs it too. I really do. They have too much power. The Microsoft lawsuit was credited with clearing the way for explosive growth of the internet, since the antitrust scrutiny prevented the company from attempting to thwart competitors. Tuesday's federal suit marks a rare moment of agreement between the Trump administration and progressive Democrats. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted on September 10th using the hashtag #BreakUp Big Tech that she wanted swift, aggressive action. Like this is I'm proud of. It's like our government officials decided to do some work today. Shares of Alphabet rose nearly 1% after news of the government lawsuit was imminent. There was some doubt in the markets that Washington lawmakers will actually come together and take action. According to Robert Pavlik, chief investment strategist, senior portfolio manager at Slate Stone, in order for them to do anything of real bite, you need Congress. And if they want to break them up, but the fact that there's been so much animosity, even though they agree on something needs to be done with big tech, it's going to take a long time to push through. Let's prove them wrong. The 11 states which joined the lawsuit all have Republican attorney generals. Why? This should be a 50-state agreement. I'll tell you why. It's because big tech favors one political party over another. Just saying that. There's a big reason Democrats don't push against tech censorship, and that's because they are supported by Silicon Valley tech censorship. I mean, we don't need to go further than the Hunter Biden hard drive cover-up by Twitter and Facebook for evidence. Like, I don't even want to I don't want to see a single comment telling me that that's wrong, because there are mountains of evidence. More suits could be in the offering, since probes by state attorney generals into Google's broader businesses are underway, as well as an investigation of its broader digital advertising businesses. A group of attorneys led by attorney generals led by Texas is expected to file a separate suit focused on digital advertising as soon as November, while the group led by Colorado is contemplating a more expansive suit against Google. Now, what I don't hope this is like when the EU did their $1.7 billion thing in 2019, and they just like take this money from Google. I don't want this to be about money. I want this to be about breaking up, and I don't think that we can afford as a country to give Silicon Valley tech, I'm talking about the big 3 or 4 here, we can't continue to wait for them to do the right thing. Either remove their protections or break them up. I don't really know any other way to put it. If we look at YouTube, for example, it is an amazing tool. It has changed my life, both in the friendships that I've garnered and my financial position. Okay? I know it's not forever, but I will forever be thankful for this opportunity. But it sure would be nice if other alternatives were more viable. Yeah, BitChute's there. Yeah, Library/Odyssey is there. But I want 10 or 20 other options. And I want them to all have unique selling propositions. I want them all to offer something different. I want there to be more than one AdWords. See, the thing is that people don't understand. Look, I run a search marketing agency, and there's a reason why YouTube, sorry, I hit the mic. There's a reason why YouTube, and I'm going to get kind of technical here. The reason YouTube is so clearly more popular than everywhere else is because that's where the money is. Where does the money come? on Google? Well, it comes from on YouTube. Well, it comes from Google AdWords. All the ads you see on search engines for Google are AdWords. And when advertisers buy ads on AdWords, they appear on YouTube videos. They are by far the single largest ad serving network in the world. You have Bing, which represents like 8 to 10%. Now, if Microsoft had a video sharing platform, they would use Bing ads to fund that and create revenue for their creators. Also, now there is cross-network and content network sharing and stuff like that, which I won't go into that. But essentially, if there was more than one Google, there would be more than one AdWords, which means there would be more than one video sharing platform that had a revenue stream. You follow me? Very simple stuff. I mean, it's not very simple, but you get what I mean. Break up Google, create more search engine competition. Those search engines draw advertising dollars. Those engines can then create video sharing websites and you have revenue. All right. Yeah, I know that Patreon and Subscribestar and merch and stuff like that, that's all important, plays, revenue, but people only do that after they really have an audience. And the way YouTube is and Google is, it's almost impossible for new creators to build an audience. I got lucky because I already had like RC Nightmare and Unsleeved Media. So I was always carrying over maybe 5 or 15,000 viewers every time I started a new channel. I can't imagine how difficult it is for a brand new creator to carve out a viewership and a following. And I look forward to that not being the daily reality. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.